This episode is brought to you by our friends at 5-Star Tuning. They have decades of experience in custom truck and car tuning and customization. They have tuning solutions for the latest F-Series trucks, the Ford Bronco, and most other popular trucks and off-roaders. Check them out using the link in the description below. Guys, I have a very special episode of TFL Talking Trucks podcast because I'm on location. I'm in Detroit, Michigan at the world debut of the new 2023 Ford Super Duty work truck and luxury truck and basically do everything truck. And here's what Ford is saying. They're calling it all new truck. And is it? Well, that's what we're here to find out. And I have Dave from Ford with me. Hey.
Nice to meet you.
So Dave, can you please introduce yourself really quick?
Yeah, so my name is David Demuth. I am the Vehicle Integration Supervisor on the Ford Super Duty program. I've been on the program since 2018 as a Vehicle Integration Supervisor for this truck. I'm also an avid Super Duty hobbyist, right? I own a Super Duty. I have an old 2002 7.3 Super Duty with very low miles on it. I love the truck. I love everything about the truck. I love how the truck is capable, but it's also very refined. So it's a workhorse, but it's also something everybody is proud of to own.
Yeah, sweet. So, a lot of people may say, oh, you put a new grille and lights on it and kind of, spruced it up a little bit, but there's more to it than that,
Oh,
right?
a lot more, right? So there's a lot more to it than that. So it's not just a friendly, tough face, but it's below the skin, right? We've touched on almost every part of this truck.
Okay, so let's start with the chassis. We don't have like a naked frame here,
right?
But tell me about like what's underneath. Has the chassis changed any?
So the chassis is upgraded. There is unique parts here we have new axles, up to a 12.4 inch axle. We also have some new base axles. The axle ratios are generally unchanged. We have new shock tuning, new tires. This is obviously our Tremor truck, so it has the Goodyear Duratrax on it. The tire code is new for 2023 to improve both traction and some handling characteristics. We've got some new components in the front end. We brought our new front axle, front differential in for Super Duty. We've also got some new, as I said, some shock tuning on this truck.
So it's all the way across the board, right?
Right.
Let's take a wider view. Actually, maybe on this truck really quick. Because people are used to different, like two-door cab,
right.
Extended cab, crew cab. You call it super cab, right? Super crew. So, and wheelbases, do those remain the same?
So the wheelbases, the cab configurations remain the same. Yes, that's right, Andre.
Okay, and then so we'll talk about powertrains later.
Yep.
In a few minutes because those are also changing, which is pretty exciting. So then, let's talk about style and some of the features. So, still aluminum body.
Correct. It's all military-grade aluminum. The body has, it's no rust. We know that it's been proven over the last 6 years now for 2023.
Yeah, because it started in 2017.
Right,
really.
exactly, yep. So customers love it. It's very resistant to dings, dents, scratches, etc. So yes, we have all new body panels. You'll see the new bedside here. Yeah. Probably the most notable features on the bedside include these steps. So we can step up here and we get access into the bed. Now what we don't have on these trucks is we have a deployable step that makes it like a ladder. So imagine a step here and then a step here and then inside the bed. So you can grab whatever you need out of the bed and do it very seamlessly.
So another step will be the option?
Right, an optional deployable step.
So if you're not seeing this, if you're just listening to us, we're talking about kind of a bedside step between the cab and the rear tire, basically. Right. So kind of in the middle of the vehicle.
Yep.
But then you also added a step here in the rear as well.
Correct, yep. So we've got another step here in the rear, and you see the steps are on both sides, both driver and passenger side. On the driver's side, also important to mention is we'll have an optional deployable step on the driver's side, which will give you again
underneath,
right,
kind of here,
right.
Okay.
Yep. So again, you'll have that ladder approach where you step in, you grab right here. Imagine a step here and a step up, and then a quick step in. Right. So it's very seamless. And what we've done this for is our customers have told us they love the customers love our tailgate step. But what happens is when you have a trailer on this, like most Super Duties do, that tailgate step is not usable. So this right here still allows you access into the bed, whether you have a conventional, a fifth wheel gooseneck trailer on it, whether it's to simply hook up your brake connections here for wiring, your trailer camera connections, or accessing your beds, tie-down points, or even your Pro Power onboard outlet over there with a trailer on the truck.
Sweet, I want to discuss that too. And then before we open up the bed, which has a couple new features as well, did you also update the hitches?
We did, yep. So thank you for pointing out that. What you'll notice here, probably the first thing, is you notice that we have a little bit of a radius arc here on the hooks, right?
Yeah.
So you've seen many of our old Super Duties that people will put D-hooks on, and they had difficulty attaching chains. So this goes to prove that, hey, we've looked at all of our customer pain points, and we focused on items that were very impactful for towing. So this right here allows you to attach a small S-hook on there or a large clamp-on hook with a larger trailer. So this makes it very seamless. We've got points here for even smaller hooks, and then there's a specific breakaway point here too that you can attach your brake.
That's what sometimes I struggle with that, with different trucks and different trailers, but this looks really usable, really nice.
Yep. And you see how heavy it is too, right? I mean, that's going to hold the truck and trailer combination together regardless of what happens. And we've seen a lot of really good press with this so far. We've hooked up many different trailers to it, and it's seamless.
So you still will have like 2-inch, 2.5-inch. Is there a 3-inch still, as far as hitches?
I'm gonna have to get back with you on that.
Okay. So then, well, we talked about, like, let's mention the rear style, right? We looked at the front style with those C-clamp lights and the big grille. So the C-clamp is kind of transitions into the back as well.
Yep. So you see what we have here. This is obviously our highest light. So this is our LED tail light. This is a bliss sensor in here. I think everybody's aware of that by now. And then we have the C-clamp in here. And as Ahab touched on, right, we'll have some onboard scales, and the onboard scale will show you your values here within the inside of the tail lamp.
So you introduced that in the F450 series as well, right? Yep. And so there are height sensors on the suspension that kind of help you determine the load based on how tall the truck is, right?
That's correct, yep. So we have front and rear height sensors that will allow you to zero out the truck. You put in a specific weight for your cargo and your payload that you have in the truck, and you can zero out the sensors, and then it will monitor very precisely the amount of load in the bed of the truck. And then also we have a feature called Smart Hitch, where once you put your load in the bed, then you put the you zero it out again, and you'll focus on what is attached to the hitch. Now this is obviously, we'll look at our conventional hitch here, but it will allow you to focus on your between 10 to 15% tongue load that you're supposed to be applying to your
so kind of help you determine that, right?
Exactly, yep. So that's another pain point, right? Customers are always guessing on what is their tongue load. You see some of these guys that are driving trucks down the road that the trailer's swaying as they're driving, whether it's wind or improperly loaded, whatever. We want to take all of the guesswork out of it and put it on the truck. The truck, think of the truck as your towing partner.
Yeah, totally. So here's the new feature. So this is not new, the camera inside the tailgate, right? The trucks have had it for a while, but then you open the tailgate, and, well, I haven't seen this yet, but there's a camera.
Yeah, that's a great one.
There's a camera on top of the tailgate, so when it's down, you could still see behind you.
Yep, so again, we thought of everything here to help the customer out. So as we just pointed out, we have a camera up here on the top. Now let me just explain the experience of what this camera is going to do. So imagine you have backed up to your gooseneck trailer. Obviously we have a gooseneck ball in here.
Yep, right there.
And you're backing up to it, and all of a sudden you get to the point where, like, I got to lower the tailgate. So previously you'd hit the button, and then all of a sudden you'd have no view. So now you can toggle between this camera view and your Chimsel camera to further help you connect that gooseneck trailer to that ball and get it on precisely. This also has built-in sensors here to tell you when you're close to an object. So imagine how painful it would be if you smashed into the front of your trailer, or even a loading dock condition where you need to focus on both backing up, and then you get to the point where you're close enough to the loading dock and you want to lower this to see how close you can get so you can just walk in and out of the truck from a loading dock. So we think this will be really handy here for both towing and hauling improvements on this truck.
Yeah, and even like long material, right? If you're hauling lumber or something like that.
So what you'll see here while the tailgate's down is we also have a ruler right here.
Okay.
So The ruler will give you, guidance here for how big objects are. Just imagine your fish, right? Fish stories always get big. So we're talking, hey, you got a big trout or what have you.
Is that 3
just
feet
caught.
right there? 3 feet, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's both in the top line here is centimeters and the bottom is inches. So we'll take care of our Canadian and our friends down in Mexico here with this also.
Sweet.
But we've just kept it simple, right? We know the Super Duty is all about functionality, and we've also got cup holders here. Believe it or not, right? These just look like regular indentations, maybe for structure. But we actually thought that people have chop saws that they put on the back of their truck, especially with the Pro Power on board now. So we've spaced these out specifically around some of the most popular chop saws. So these feet will fit your saw, and you don't have to worry about securing your saw.
That's very sweet. Yeah, let's focus on the Pro Power because it's 2 kilowatt now, right?
Right, yep.
So 2,000 watts.
Right.
Before it was about 400, or most other competitors have 400,
right? So we're 4 to 5 times as much as our competitors here. So this right here, we know it's plenty to power a saw. It's got you can basically have a mobile work station here with that 2 kilowatt Pro Power on board. To operate it, you simply, if the truck is running, you simply press that green button, and it will go into what's called a generator mode on the screen in the center stack. A truck will idle up or it'll come down depending on the power load that's needed. It uses very little fuel to run, specifically on the diesel here as you run Pro Power on board. We also see that this is on the passenger side of the truck where the F450 is on the driver's side. What we figured here was, hey, this truck is going to be used for work, potentially in a city environment or environment where there's passing cars on the driver's side. So we wanted to keep the passenger safe, and we put the plug over here on the
if there's
the users,
a sidewalk here, right?
Right. So yes, the users will be able to access that from the safe side of the street.
And there's still the fifth wheel kind of trailer connectors over there too.
So yep, you see the brake on the top, the brake connectors here, and the lights. And then we have our camera connections right here. This is our 12-way connector, we call it, down below for the cameras and the bliss sensors that we'll get into later.
All right, and the bed lengths remain the same.
Bed
right?
lengths are the same. Yep. We have
So
our 6 3/4 and our 8-foot box lengths.
Sweet. So let's see. We went over the chassis, right? Updated hitches.
Right.
We'll touch on suspension a little bit next with the off-road trucks.
Okay.
The body panels are all new, and you could see kind of like the new styling of the body panels, like we discussed. And then, of course, the new usability features on the bed. Before we go inside, let's take a look at the engines because I think the listeners and viewers want to see the power plants.
That's the part of the truck.
So, is that fair to say that the 6.2 V8, gas V8 is no more?
That's correct. Yep.
Okay, so the 6.2 is going away, but there's something new that comes in.
Yeah, it's this guy right here. So,
okay,
as was mentioned earlier in the discussion, right, we have the Godzilla power plant. So that was always our 7.3. Now we've taken the Godzilla power plant from the 7.3 liter and we've made a 6.8 liter out of it. So the specifics, right, we'll get into horsepower and torque later as this product is released. I can't talk about those right now. General architecture, it's a very simple but very durable architecture with pushrod V8. You'll see that it's got.
Yeah, you can kind of see around it, including the intake. And so I think as I understand it, so you kind of decreased the bore and stroke of the big 7.3 to make a slightly smaller displacement. And assuming this will be kind of the base, so XL and XLT.
That's correct.
Power plant, but also made it to a 10-speed.
Yeah, that's a very good point, right? So new for the 6.8 liter, attached to it will be a new 10R100 transmission. So it's perfectly mated to the 6.8 liter horsepower and torque output. It makes it a very spirited setup where it revs quickly. It's very fun to drive, and I think our customers are going to love the new 10-speed 10R100 with it.
And is that transmission the same for the diesel engines as well?
No, that's a good point. So we got our 10R100 on the 6.8 liter.
Okay.
And as we jump up, imagine there would be a 7.3 liter right here in the middle. Okay. That would have a 10R140, which is very close to what we have in production today.
Okay.
Reason for that is it's obviously higher horsepower and torque. And then we jump into the diesel. So there'd be another engine right in the center here, which would be our base diesel. So our current 6.7 diesel, yep. And then we jump into the high output, which is right here. So the unique part about this high output diesel is we have two ports right here on the top.
Here we go. Okay.
Yep. So this right here, we have a water-cooled turbo housing, which allows us to run the engine a little bit harder, cool the turbo, keep all the vitals appropriately cooled, and allow a little bit more horsepower and torque output. I shouldn't say a little, it's a lot. But
you don't have the numbers, or you can't talk about.
We're not talking numbers
okay.
today, so I gotta stay away from that.
Okay.
Also unique too is we have some stainless steel exhaust manifolds. Now, everybody's familiar with our 6.7 liter architecture, where the exhaust manifolds are actually in the center that feed the turbo.
And the turbo is right here in the valley.
That's correct.
Yep. That's a beefy looking engine. That's large.
Yep. We love that 6.7. The 6.7's been a great power plant for us.
So, have you? A lot of our viewers also asked about hybridization, electric combinations with the Super Duty powertrains. For 2023, these are the only options right now.
These are the only options. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And so let me review. So there's a lot going on here.
There's a lot. I get it. Yep.
So 6.8 liter is going to be kind of the base motor. This is the gas motor. It's new.
Correct.
The power numbers. Well, the current 6.2 is like 385 horsepower. So I'm assuming it'll be somewhere north of that. You don't have to say anything.
Yep.
I'm just talking. And then 7.3. By the way, I'm going to call this, so it needs a nickname. Do you have a nickname for this engine?
I'm open. What do you think?
Well, I was thinking Godzilla is a 7.3. This is like the Mothra. No, this is King Kong.
King Kong, I like it.
Is that okay, so let us know in the comments below. Let us know in the comments below if you like King Kong name, or what else would you name this kind of base, big 6.8 liter V8. Then the 7.3 is still there.
Yep.
Updated a little bit, right?
Right.
So the power numbers will come out. Then there is a base standard. Can I call it standard?
Yep.
Standard output 6.7 liter Power Stroke V8 diesel turbocharged. And then there's big boy high output diesel.
Correct. And what's important to mention about the high output is it's available on any configuration, any trim series. It's going to be available.
So you can check the box, 250, whatever,
right.
350.
Yep.
You could check the box and get it.
Correct.
That's really good because
we think the customers are really going to appreciate that.
Choice, right, is important, right? And 10-speed across the board, except they're not identical, as we just learned.
So as we said, the diesel will have the 10R 140. Both diesels, and the 7.3 will have the 10R 140, and then the 6.8 liter will have the 10R 100 option.
10 speeds across the board.
10
Sweet.
speeds across the board, yeah.
All right, sweet. Now let's turn our attention a little bit more to the off-road section and also interior, because the interior is new as well.
Yeah.
So tell me about the Tremor. So the Tremor has been pretty successful, it's fair to say.
The Tremor, yes, we're very proud of the Tremor. The Tremor has been very successful. I see Tremors all over the place right now, and I see people just waiting in line to buy 2022s. So for 2023, right, the new parts on the Tremor is we brought some new different drive modes. So we have what's called a rock crawl mode right now that allows you to trigger some of the electronics, including the front camera when you go into rock crawl mode. Gives you different graphics on the screen. If you get a truck that's a King Ranch or Platinum Tremor, it'll give you a HUD that gives you specific information for off-road driving, including your pitch and your roll, your steering wheel angles, gear state, your e-locker state, driveline state, etc. So we think it's going to be a really nice improvement on the Tremor as it is today. Additionally, we have what's called trail turn mode. So we have trail turn assist.
Yeah.
So it allows you to, if you're just think of it as a tank, right? You guys maybe have seen this on Bronco. So imagine turning this gigantic truck in a tight situation where it kind of locks the inside tires and allows you to power on the outside, and will spin the truck around very quickly.
Yeah, sweet. Like the Tremor F150 has a similar feature
right
now, and the Bronco, like you mentioned. So now this big boy truck has that feature as well.
So also too, right? We talk functional. So we have the locking front differential that we've had from 2022 and beyond.
So is that a Torsen, or is that a selectable?
It's a Torsen. It's a mechanical locking.
Okay.
So we've also got a with a reduced height air dam, which right, give you
better
additional
approach.
Approach angle. We still have our optional 12,000 pound Warn winch. Now this truck doesn't have it here, but it's a direct bolt-in right here in the front of the truck, so you don't have to have a big bumper or an additional mounting bracket outside of your truck. It's very compact, doesn't interfere with any of your camera views, etc. as you're going off-road.
And so the tremor continues this way. It will be had with diesel and gas power?
That's correct, yes. So tremor is only available with the 7.3 liter and the diesel with the high output.
Okay, and obviously not a dually.
Not a dually, yep.
You have to get single rear wheel.
It's only available on the 160-inch wheelbase still, because that's where our customers tend to gravitate towards in our volume.
Yeah, because for maneuverability advantages and all that stuff. So, but you have something else. I want to point to the board here because well, you've had the FX4 package for forever.
Yep.
Which includes, of course, hill descent control, skid plates, all-terrain tires. But now you have the XL Off-Road package. Tell me a little bit more about this.
XL Off-Road package builds upon what we've learned with our fleet studies. So we sent some trucks out to work in the mining, in the gas industry. And what we found was really what the customer wanted was they wanted something that was more rugged. And the first thing that they did when they got one of our trucks was they replaced the tires. So it was a little bit of a pain point where they're buying a truck and then they throw another $1,500 worth of tires on it. So we took that, we wanted to keep the tremor exclusive for the retail guy to have the tremor. We took a lot of that uniqueness of the tremor and then put it back into what we're calling our XL Off-Road. So we see it's available on single rear wheel, F250 and F350. That's obviously only SRW, and it's available on any cabs. You can get on a regular, a super, or a crew cab.
Okay.
It allows you, obviously it's an off-road truck, so you're going to get four-wheel drive standard. We have a 33-inch tire. It's going to be the Goodyear DuraTrack 33-inch.
So it's a little bit smaller.
A little bit smaller, yeah.
It's a 35 here.
Right. So we kept the tremor has a little bit of a lift on the front of the leveling kit.
Yeah.
So we actually kept the ride heights the same as the standard XL truck on the front, knowing that the guy's in and out of the truck all the time. So we wanted to make it so there wasn't any pain points with getting in and out of the truck. We gave a raised air dam on this XL Off-Road. We've taken the tremor vent tubes for powertrain vent tubes, so you can go through deeper water with the XL Off-Road. Skid plates are obviously standard, and we gave the electronic locking differential as standard here with our XL Off-Road too.
Do you have any pricing available yet for any of this?
I don't. That'll come out later.
But I'm assuming this is a little bit more affordable because it's XL based.
That's right. Yep.
Because it's a work truck that updated for off-roading as well.
Right. Yep.
So
this is going to be a really neat package. The couple of trucks I've driven, I'm very happy with. They're very. It's a very neat truck. It's a really cool package to see it in an XL, regular cab, super, or crew.
All right, we have several trucks here. Which one can we showcase the interior or different interiors? So here's the point I want to come across, that the interior is updated, right? And it's not identical to the F-150, right? It kind of looks similar, like in the family. So you have, latest details. And so tell me a little bit more about what you did on the inside.
So obviously, we have our F-150 base architecture here interior. So it's very similar. We have our 18 speaker B&O system as an optional upgrade for customers. That includes 18 speakers, including in the headrest and the headliner. We've got some unique equalizer tuning that's coming for Super Duty. Obviously, Super Duty is a little bit of a different customer here. The guy loves to work hard, but also loves to play hard, right? So we see that the work and the relaxation has to combine in the interior. So whether he's driving home from the job site or taking his family on a camping trip or towing their large boat to the boat ramp, we make sure that the interior is quiet, it's comfortable, it gives them the options of long haul, right? The guy that goes across long trips. With that being said, we brought the sleeper seat. So you've seen the sleeper seat or max recline seat that we have on F-150.
Yeah.
So the max recline seat, right, it will recline flat. When it reclines, the bolster will flip up a little bit, and it allows you here to adjust this for comfort, right? So you can fold the seat all the way down, and if you need to take a nap, or you're tired, you're waiting for your next load, or you just, whatever the condition is, right? So it allows you to be comfortable in your vehicle. It works really well. We also got our heated and cooled seats, which customers have grown to love. We have heated steering wheel on many of our packages, including a hard button on the IP now for pushing the heated steering wheel. What's unique here too, and we don't have anything to show, is all of our cluster views. So when you go into your different drive modes, it allows you to select a lot of really customizable information that's going to be key to the customer. So whether he's in an off-road mode, tow haul
different towing
mode,
modes,
normal
right.
mode, right? It allows you customizable features here with the screens. So tow haul is one that we're really proud of because it allows you to take one of the tachometer, the left-hand side on the tachometer, and make it a little smaller, and then it allows you to put more information specific to towing on the left-hand side of the cluster.
And that's including the new digital cluster as well.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
So this is, we're talking higher end right now.
Yeah.
So it gives you more customizability for how the truck is being used. These trucks are used in such a wide array that it's hard to, hard code what we think the customer is going to use it for. So they can customize critical engine information. They have access to all of the trailer information, including trailer light check, brake output gain. They'll have bliss, right? We'll talk about bliss in a little bit here with the trailer stuff. But it allows you to focus on making towing easy. So you tow big, it doesn't have to be hard. And we've really tried to emphasize making it easy.
And also heads-up displays available on some trims.
Yep.
I want to walk over to the big boy truck. It's a 450 Crew.
All right, let's do that.
Because it's got a giant trailer behind it. And just, first of all, showing the 8-foot bed, right?
Yep. So this is our F450.
But consumer version.
Yes, F450 pickup, as we call it internally. So this has all of the best, right? It's got our 19.5-inch commercial tire and wheels. You're looking right now at a King Ranch package, which looks beautiful in that white and the tan bottom, gold bottom. Mm-hmm. You'll see the 6.7 liter badge on it. But yes, this is the ultimate tow machine here for anybody that's really going to tow heavy and tow big. So again, right, this is our side box steps. So you see how important it is if we were over on the driver's side, how easy it would be to release the kingpin.
Yeah, just kind of reaching over.
Reach in and grab it, right? And you'd hook up your breakaway switch here right to your box tie down right there. And it's just real easy to get into versus, as we always laugh, the splitting your pants to get up here on the top of the tire, right?
Yeah. So once again, so the F450 chassis is available, like we see here, consumer, and then of course you have the 550, 600 chassis cabs and commercial trucks as well.
Right. That's right.
So all that is continuing.
Yep.
And currently the numbers are you have like maximum towing at 37,000, maximum payload of about 7,850, and you're targeting what class leading numbers once again.
That's correct.
Okay, so the numbers are not quite out yet, but I want to hit on some of the technologies, right?
Yep.
You mentioned blind spot monitoring.
Yep.
We once again see that here behind you, but now there's an option to attach it to your trailer as well,
Yes.
right?
So what we have is on our trucks, we have the blind spot, the bliss sensors here behind the tail lamps. Now what you see is if this truck was rotated to be perfectly in line with the trailer, these would probably be hidden right here in the trailer.
Because the trailer is wider.
Right, so ultimately the truck turns the blind spot information off with a fifth wheel trailer because it thinks something's in its blind spot all the time. So customers have found workarounds for that, but we wanted to make it so we did this right. So currently we're bringing a system here where we will be mounting bliss sensors to the side of the trailer. So they probably go right about here on this trailer. And what that will do is it will work in conjunction with the bliss sensors in the tail lamps, but it'll also give you the whole length of the vehicle, all the way, or the whole length of the trailer, all the way down. So regardless of, between 30 to 50 feet, right, you have sensors that will tell you if somebody's in your blind spot. So it works all the way to the back of the trailer, give you a little buffer between the back of the trailer and the bumper of that front car. And we'll integrate perfectly into the mirrors, so you have that little light lit up in your mirror. You also see that in the cluster, in the HUD, but it will seamlessly integrate with the truck.
And will it be a wired solution?
It will be wired, yes.
So and you'll be using like the 12-pin connectors?
So we'll be using, the 12-pin connector here, either on the bumper. Oh, so this one doesn't have one on the bumper, but it would be up there in the bed. Yeah.
In the bed. And so, but also, so that's blind spot monitoring, which is important, right? Changing lanes, you're maybe not paying attention, something else happened, and it'll help you realize that. But also cameras, right?
Yes. So we hit on the bliss part of it. We'll be bringing tire pressure sensors.
For the trailer,
to
connect to the truck.
Yeah, with temperature in them too.
Okay.
So we'll have that, and they'll all integrate into what we're calling a trailer ecosystem. Okay. So what you'll see too, now you hit on a great point. We have cameras. Now look there's a camera there. Did you see the camera up front too?
No, I did not.
So we got a camera up front, and then if we walk behind, you'd see there's a camera behind it also.
Okay.
So we have 4 cameras on this trailer to bring that ecosystem into the truck. And what that will do is it will allow you a stitched image with a bird's eye view of the trailer. So imagine you've been driving all day, you get to your campsite, you got a fire pit over here, you got a tree over there, you got a tent back over here.
Sure.
You don't want to wreck anybody's day, including yours, when you back a trailer into your fire pit. So it allows you to see seamlessly into our 12-inch screen the bird's eye view of the trailer. So you'll see front, side, rear.
And you can kind of configure which camera you want to look at.
And then as you're driving down the road too, you can have the rear camera on, so you can see what's behind you all the time in the center screen to help you with just that ease of driving. And again, it's all about making big towing easy.
Very cool. So we talked about heads-up display, which also will help you with towing, right?
Right. Yep.
Okay. Well, you've had this feature for a while, theft security, trailer theft.
Yes.
So I have a story about this. Okay. So I was at the lake with my boat, and I forgot that feature was on my truck, and my truck was locked.
Okay.
And I started to unhook my trailer, and it unloaded the hitch, and my truck alarm started going off in the middle of a campsite.
Okay.
So that was a little bit embarrassing.
Yeah, well, we all learn. So.
But it also gives you an alert on your app as well, right? So that's available here. And then trailer navigation. So this has been available, I know, on like big buses, right? Big buses or motorhomes, because for bridge clearance and stuff. So you're bringing that here now?
Right. So we're bringing trailer navigation here. Again, it's all about taking the stress and the work out of towing. So you see this trailer here. I don't know the exact height of this trailer. I guess it's tall, right?
It's maximum
probably 14
height,
feet-ish.
yeah.
So what trailer navigation will do is that it gives you a smartest route to get there with the least amount of stress. So you plug in your trailer dimensions, its length, width, height, weight. You plug all that in, and then it will help you guide you for the least stressful route to get there. And you can pick and choose your way along it, but it'll give you indications for potential height restrictions or potential weight restrictions. Think of a smaller bridge, that you don't get stuck in a position where you either got to back out or you have to make a call of, do you think you're going to make it? So it gives you some guidance here to take the stress out of it.
Gotcha. And also Pro Trailer Hitch Assist.
Right.
So I haven't experienced this feature yet. Okay. Before, but so I'm looking forward to that. But that's going to help you, like the truck will steer itself as you're backing up, is that right?
Correct, yep. So we got to demo Pro Trailer Hitch Assist a few weeks ago, and I tell you what, it's awesome. Okay. So me as a guy that my 2002 Super Duty doesn't even have a backup camera on it. I go all the way back to that and see how far we've come. Now literally you push the button and it enables the Pro Trailer Hitch Assist. You take and you set your ball coupler as a target point, and the truck will tell you, hey, back up, and it will control the braking, it controls throttle, it controls steering. The only input you have to do is you give it forward or reverse on the
really?
The shifter.
So it'll do gas and brake as well?
Right. Okay. So everything is set up for you, and ultimately what it does is it takes that trailer ball and it puts it right underneath your coupler. Okay. And it works seamlessly. And even at certain points, right, it'll tell you to get out and please check to make sure that you don't collide the coupler with your trailer ball. So it's smart enough to...
Will that work with goosenecks as well, or is that conventional towing?
That's only for conventional.
For bumper
tow at this point.
Okay, gotcha.
And again, it doesn't care about the size of your conventional trailer, but it'll allow you to, even with our cameras right now, sometimes you have some depth perception here where you can't quite tell, are you maybe 2 inches away or you're over it. This allows you to put it right on top all the time with precision.
Very, very sweet. So let's see. Well, we also have, let's finish here with the big truck. And we're here looking at the F450.
Right.
Basically commercial vehicle with a kind of a crane body on the back of it and utility body. So at the beginning of this episode, I wanted to figure out, is this an all-new truck? So we have some chassis improvements, right? Suspension improvements.
Yep.
Obviously, I'm surprised by this, but you did the whole body. And then powertrains, interior. Yeah, so I would say it's all new.
Yeah, we're pretty proud of how we've built on an already great foundation of this truck. So you see this is obviously, it's got a crane on the back. This is our F550 XL. We know our work guys typically buy the lowest trim. These work guys, though, we give them a lot when we get lowest trim. We've got our 8-inch screen now in the center stack is standard. A lot of new ADAS features that are standard as part of, to help improve that uptime, right? The guys that are using these trucks, they don't want downtime. They want to keep everybody safe. They want to keep them maximized in their working environment, comfortable and productive.
And by the way, we didn't mention this, but the side vent is functional, right?
So, we're very proud of that, right? Our side vent is functional. So as this truck gets hot, it sucks the air out. And that was something I specifically worked on myself too, was making sure that was functional, and it does suck air out. You see in some of our heat maps that there is heat coming out of there too. So not only do we make it bigger for styling, but we made it functional.
Very, very cool. Of course, you kept your mirrors.
Right.
And a lot of functional features as well.
Yep.
And also, the solid, axle fronts.
Yep. Yep.
And even your manual hubs or automatic hubs, right here.
Yep, we know our customer does appreciate those. In an instance where they get into trouble, where something fails, they can always just go out and manually lock them. And it's something that really just makes the Ford, really built Ford tough.
Well, very sweet. Well, Dave, thank you for taking me through this.
Yep.
Did we skip anything? I mean, I think there's
so much more, right? We could talk for hours, and I just love talking trucks, so we could continue to talk for hours. I can't wait to get you guys out and drive these things. It's awesome, right? I mean, everything we've done, I think, is going to be very well received by our customers. It's just an awesome truck, and we've built on an already awesome foundation. So
thank you for joining this episode. I hope you learned a lot about the 23 Super Duty. I know I have, so thank you very much. And stay tuned for a lot more. alltfl.com is where you'll find everything automotive in one place, one-stop shop right there. So thank you.